So, Gennady Golovkin and Kell Brook is a fight that's all set for September 10th in London. In I don't know if it's at the O2 Arena, Kell Brook's, but it's pretty much a home fight for Kell Brook. And right now, Gennady Golovkin is being roasted on social media, websites, Facebook, you name it. And everybody's talking about a double standard and now what, and so on and so forth. Personally, I like this fight. I really like it. Listen, Gennady Golovkin is a small middleweight. He's a middleweight. He's a small middleweight. I mean, he can make 154 pounds. He's like in that Miguel Cotto category. He can make 154 pounds if he wanted. And Kell Brook is a huge welterweight. He should be fighting at 154 pounds. So the weight for this fight is not something that I'm going to make a big deal out of it. I think that on fight night, well, when you look at Kell Brook on fight night, I mean, you'll see actually how big the guy is. I like this fight because of the styles. The style that Brook's going to bring, I think, there'll be some issues that Golovkin will have to kind of navigate through if he's going to win. I know Brook is going to have the crowd behind him. He's going to be pumped up. And you never know. I mean, you got the juice that night. You look at Ricky Hatton and Costa Zoo. I mean, when you up for it, and believe me, he'll be up for this. This should be I like this fight. It should be very entertaining. You're talking 36-0, I believe Brook is. I don't have anything in front of me. Two great records, 36-0 for Brook, if I'm not mistaken, and 35-0 for Golovkin. And I like it. Now, according to Eddie Hearn, both guys were close to signing other fights. Brook, of course, with Jesse Vargas, and Golovkin with Eubank Jr. And according to Hearn, well, first of all, let's talk about the Vargas, the Brook and Vargas unification. If you look at the unification from a number standpoint, it just didn't make sense. Vargas isn't a big draw. The fight would have been on Brook's turf, yet Vargas would have made substantially more money than Brook. It just didn't make sense. They still were going to go through it. They were still going to go through it, but they didn't. They were close. But if I'm Team Brook, I'm like, I mean, economically, it just didn't work out. And then, according to Hearn, with the Golovkin situation, Eubank Jr. was offered the same deal as Anthony Joshua, Carl Froch, Kell Brook. I mean, just the same type of deal where it was a very generous deal. The promoter, Hearn, would have got his piece of it, and everything's cool. Then, according to Hearn, Eubank Sr. comes out, who's never been a promoter, and he start making unrealistic demands as far as, I mean, anything from who he wanted to commentate, how much the payout should be, how much they should earn, and Hearn finally walked. And to be honest, Eubank was going to get, I mean, a lot more than he deserved. I mean, it was almost the same with Billy Joe Saunders. I mean, we talking about guys getting like ridiculous, like $4 million. I mean, like ridiculous amounts, and just not wanting to make it or asking for more. And then ticket prices, it was like, I can't remember the term that Hearn used, but it was pretty much like grand larceny here. Like, man, come on. You're not gonna, it's, come on. So, when the father got involved and they don't know anything about promoting, and they tried to kind of strong arm and do what have you. I don't know, if the father looked at some of, watched replays of some of Golovkin's knockouts and kind of said, let's change the game or what. But whatever it was, he cost himself and his son some big time money. Because, and then I guess Hearn just kind of mentioned it in talking to Brook, and Brook said, I'll take it, the fight and the money and what have you, and here we have it. So a lot of people are going to be critical. They're going to talk about the weights. Kind of reminds me of a television show that used to come on when I was a kid called The Odd Couple. And The Odd Couple, the two main characters were Felix and Oscar, aka who's that? Jack Klugman and Tony Randall. Tony Randall and Jack Klugman. And then you look at Bernard Hopkins. Here's a guy who made his name off of fighting The Odd Couple. Two guys who were smaller than he was. He was the middleweight champion, and he fought and beat Felix Tito Trinidad. There's your Felix. After the September 11th thing in New York. And then he got his big cash out, his cash day, versus Oscar De La Hoya. Two guys smaller than him. Some people might have made comments about it back then, but not like they're commenting now. But without The Odd Couple, without Felix and Oscar, Bernard Hopkins is not the household name that he is now. He's still not, I wouldn't say household is like in the sense of everyone knows him, but a whole lot of other people know him. And that story about him attempting to be the oldest to win and 40 something years old and now 50 something, maybe it gets some headlines, but it doesn't get as much play had he never fought Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Trinidad. Once again, two undersized guys. So, I mean, does Gennady deserve some criticism? On this one, I don't think so. Because he earnestly wanted to make fights with Saul Canelo Alvarez, who didn't want to fight him. whether it's Oscar, I don't care. Canelo has stepped in the ring and fought some other big names, whether Oscar wanted him to or not, and he's won some and he's lost some. So I'm not buying that. Danny Jacobs, he was talking one way one day, and then it's like, okay, let's make the fight, and it's like, well, Peter Quillen, you used to ask him about Golovkin, and the stuttering would start with him. So I think now that he's had his loss, maybe that helps him. Maybe he says, well, let me try to get my redemption here. If not, at least people will respect me for stepping to the plate. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders, the list goes on. People don't want to fight this guy. And then those who seem like they want to, something just comes up when the time comes. So now we got a good fight, man. I mean, these are two. This is going to be an interesting fight, and for all those people who, and it's going to be on regular HBO, and all of those people who complain, you know what? Turn the channel the day of the fight, September 10th. Don't even turn to HBO. But guess what? They're going to watch. And if Golovkin wins and looks impressive, well, Brook, he was supposed to beat him. If Golovkin looks shaky, see, I told you he wasn't all of that. If Golovkin loses, he's exposed. But hats off to Kell Brook for stepping up. Now, hopefully we won't have the Kell Brook that we've been used to, where we'll get close to the fight and then there's this injury and you're like, this is too good to be true. Hopefully, look, September will be here before you know it. It's like 2 months away. I mean, almost to the day. So hopefully we'll get that fight, and I'm very very interested in this one. I really like this fight, and much respect to Amir King Khan. I mean, Khan stepped up. He was up probably 6 rounds to nothing against Alvarez. He got caught and he got stopped like most people anticipated, but he stepped up and he showed what he can do, and he did it well for pretty much the whole fight until Canelo saw a flaw, landed the punch, and got him out of there. Same hats off to Kell Brook for doing this. I think it's a little bit different. Brook's belt, of course, the lineal middleweight title will be on the line for Golovkin. Kell Brook's welterweight title won't be up for grabs, obviously, with the weight. There's no catch weight in this fight. Another shout out to Brook. I don't think Brook is as small as people think. That's why I think they're just going full blast with this. No catch weight. Let's do it. Because it's more closer. It's closer to his natural weight. Okay, walk around natural. I'm not in the gym every day training weight than it is Golovkin's weight. So I think he's fine, and he's muscular. So this he'll be fine. Another thing he has going for him is youth. I mean, listen, Gennady Golovkin is going to be 36 soon. I mean, he's no longer in his physical prime. He's where he is now. You never know at that age what you are until, sorry to say, until the fight's over, until fight night. So, I like the fight. I'm not as critical. I would be critical if Brook was a small guy, and Team Golovkin just didn't even negotiate with Canelo and Saunders, and and the other guys, I mean, then maybe there's room for criticism. But that deal was close, and they didn't get it done, and they got this done, and I like the fight. So let me know what you think. As always, we ask you please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right below this YouTube, you'll see a button that says subscribe. It's free. We're not asking for any donations. Just please give us a subscribe. Feel free to comment. We also ask you to go to Twitter at The Fight Journal. Follow us on Twitter at The Fight Journal. We'll definitely follow you back and retweet. Like and retweet your things you have to say. And most of all, check us out on our website, www.thefightjournal.com. Excuse me. Check us out at thefightjournal.com, and up at the top on the left, you'll see a little space that says follow this blog via email. If you type your email in there and select that, anytime we do a video, we do some audio, we do our articles, our stories, you won't have to come to the page. They'll automatically come to your email, and you can check them out there. And as always, leave comments. If there's something you like our opinion on, like us to talk about, let us know in the comment section, or hit us on Twitter, or you can contact us on our Contact Us page on the website, and we'll try to get you what you're looking for. Until then, see you on the next one.